Good morning, racing fans. Are you ready for some real action on this beautiful Sunday morning? I hope so, because today we're gonna have a NASCAR-framed action track, the Great Richmond Raceway, just out of virtual Richmond, Virginia. We're here for race 11 in the Bonfire Premier Cup race, brought to you by Cavalcade Racing Network. My name is Pimlet, and I will be calling the action for this race. And I'm joined by my co-commentator, Peter Lee. Peter, what do we expect for this race today?
Hey Pim, this is going to be a wild race this morning because we are on incredibly challenging short track. Richmond Raceway is just a 3/4 mile track, hard on the tires. It's going to be crowded out there for these guys.
It's going to be very crowded, but it's not only crowded on the track, it's also crowded here in the booth, because we're not alone here. We actually have an expert here. Clayton, I want to welcome you for the first time in the booth.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome to see you up here, but what are you doing here in the booth and not being on the track?
To be honest, I don't have the most experience on the service at this track, so I wanted to just try and keep the race as clean as possible by not having me there, and I figured I can maybe provide some insight up here in the booth with you guys.
Yeah, that's definitely going to help us. I think we're getting close to the end of this season, so will be a lot of tactics coming on, and I'm happy to have you up here explaining it to us. So I'm very curious. I just want to go quickly to our championship, because I do think it's good to have a quick look at what is actually the championship. Currently we have Joey Styres on the front with 241 points. Nate Mower on the second position with 10 points less. So basically everything to play for. And on that third position we have David Medina from FOCM with 227 points. Looking, where can we find you? Clayton, we find you on the 16th position with 120 points.
Pretty far down there.
Pretty far down there, so I think it's a good option to see you here in the booth. You're nowhere near close to the champions anymore, but it's always a fun races. We weren't last week. We weren't here. Can you give us a short update? What happened in our last race?
I was not here either.
You weren't here either.
I was also missing in action.
Oh wow. Well, I did when I did update the points, I saw a lot of points coming back from the people in the bottom half of the rack, so that's quite funny. Peter, I know that you have looked at into the data. Do we have anything from our last race?
Well, what we have is just a tightening of the field, especially at the top. And you know, with Joey Styres in the lead, you know, he's got his work cut out for him here and next week at Talladega to hold on to that, because, you know, both Nate Mower and David Medina have been so steady. And in fact, for today's race, they've qualified 1 and 2. David qualifying 1 and Nate qualifying 2. So I think today's race is, if anything, is probably just going to tighten up the field even more. That's what I'd predict.
Yeah, we are already standing ready for the lineup.
So we've got 165 laps today. The fuel window, just given how short the track is, you know, will open up at around lap 80. You know, you could imagine if it goes all green, that people could stretch it out and make it a one-stop race. But you know, Pim, as we always do, we always make guesses as to how many full course cautions are going to be in the race, and that always plays a big factor in the strategy.
All right, I'm going for the magic number 9.
Yeah, I'm for sure going to have to go at least over 5.
Over 5, all right. And Peter, what's your guess?
You know, like when people are really keyed up and nervous about things like that, they go extra careful, so I'm going to shoot low and say 4. I did take some recon laps here yesterday, and wow, you know, short track just makes these cars feel so overpowered. They have just way too much horsepower for a little track like this. tires.
I think
Yeah.
I think you're going to see a lot of incidents in exit of turn 4, as we call it, a chaos corner. You're always going to have a lot of excitement coming out of there. And interestingly enough, Kevin Bullock didn't put down a qualifying lap today.
Very much a Chris Morrill type of strategy there. Chris, last year's season champ, is not in the race today due to work commitment. Clayton, how do you think about that?
Guys, the pace car is off and we are going ready for the race. So let's have a quick look at how that goes.
Oh, 3 wide on entry.
Yeah.
But Nate holds that exit really well.
Here comes the chaos corner, Clayton, that you were talking about.
Yeah, late in the race, you're going to see a lot of guys getting loose on exit out of there, and it'll get pretty dicey through there.
Does look like they're stringing themselves out. We've got, I guess, Brandon Shelton and Joyce Dyers going a little bit side by side there, and it definitely you get the sense that they're tiptoeing around the track here, just trying to get in the groove. So Clayton, I was going to ask you, when you're thinking about a race like this on a short track, what's your mindset at the start of the race?
For me, it's always I want to be in front. I want to be controlling the pace, because ultimately, whether the car in front of you has worse tires or not, you have to get around them somehow. And if they have worse tires, it can maybe even be harder to get around them, because they're going to be sliding every which way.
Well, it's looking like the field single file. Nate Mower is leading the lead right now. Dave Medina right behind him, followed by Justin White, Nick Mills, Joyce Dyers. And then the second 5 to round at the top 10, Brandon Shelton, Jared Kelly, Jeff Pfeiffer, Josh Thompson, and Gregory Snellbaker.
Yeah, real quick, currently you have a battle for position 12 and 13 with Gary Wright making his 50th Bonfire Premier Cup appearance today.
His
50. Wow.
50, that is a lot, guys. That is a lot.
Yeah, he's been with the league since day one, and it seems like he may be going a little steady off the start here.
It's looking like Nate Moore and Dave Medina up front are pulling a gap of a couple seconds. And then there's a second group with Justin White, Nick Mills, Joyce Dyers, Brandon Shelton, and Jared Kelly.
Yeah, so Clayton, what do you do now if you're Justin White? You see them running away. What goes to your mind? Is this really worrying, the 2.3 seconds?
Yeah, it's for sure not the best situation to be in with 2.3 seconds to the guys ahead, and you've got, what, 4 cars bearing down right behind you. I'm sure his tires may be feeling it here soon, and you could see him going backwards. Especially with P4 and Nick Mills, if he keeps going as consistent as he has, you could definitely see him start gaining some ground on the top 2. Maybe those guys' tires start going off here soon.
Yeah, Clayton, Pim and I are road racers, and one of the things that's just so disconcerting when you're driving these cup cars on a track like this is you just hear and feel the tires just scrub away like crazy. It's really incredible, and it must just I don't know how you guys do it. It just puts me on edge.
Yeah, it's quite disheartening when you're trying. You really want to run as hard as you can, but you just hear your tires crying for help. eventually there's nothing else you can do except for let off a little bit.
But look at this guy, Nate Mower. He is just suddenly going really quick together with David Medina. It's running away from the rest of the pack. And we don't see any yellows. I don't want to call it out, but it looks like we're having a very clean race up here.
Yeah, I'm watching you guys back at P9. Doug Neal's been making a charge up the field. He's up 5 spots. And Steve Harden, he's running P12 right now, but he's up 4 spots from the start. And you know, I've just been watching them just pick their way through the field, kind of one car at a time. We'll see if they can keep that up.
Yeah, it looks like P14 of Gregory Snowbaker around lap 8. He got tight on exit of turn 2 and got into the wall and took some damage from the wall, as well as the 57 of Thomas Fox.
Yeah, I just pulled up the track map and you really see that Mower and Medina are just gone. And then you have that small little group with White, Mills, and I think Joey Stiers is in there as well. Our race leader currently. But it looks like it's going to be the Nate Mower show up here.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like that, but you've still got Joey Stiers and Brandon Shelton fighting in this next pack. So I think when it comes down to that time, it'll definitely be an interesting one to watch. Especially if we have green flag pit stops, it'll be pretty chaotic here. And
back in P7, Doug Neal's made up 2 more positions, so now he's sort of leading this 3rd pack ahead of Jared Kelly, Kevin Bullock, Josh Thompson. And in fact, now he's separating himself from that and trying to catch up that 2nd pack.
Yeah, that 2nd pack is with Nick Mills, Joey Stiers, Brandon Shelton.
I am already impressed with how clean these guys are running.
Yeah, this looks really good. The group is a little bit smaller than normal, but for this track it might be okay to have that.
It's for the best, definitely.
The only thing, another question for you, Clayton. You know, of course, being a road racer, I never use automatic transmission or automatic shift. And so when I was taking my recon laps here yesterday, I had to shift between 3rd and 4th gear every lap. So do you know what these guys do? Are they using auto shift? Are they just keeping in 1 gear? Are they manually shifting every lap? What do you do, and what do you think these guys do?
These guys are definitely just keeping it in 4th with the short gear ratios we have. With how low the RPMs get, sometimes you may really think that mentally that you may want to drop down into the 3rd gear there, but realistically, if you drop down to 3rd gear, you're going to have too much acceleration and spin your tires on exit.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, dropping all the way down to around 6,200 RPM in turn 1 and 2. And in turn 3 and 4, you get all the way down to 5,600. So it's definitely a little bit of a balancing act to try and keep the RPMs up, but you don't want to get them too high by downshifting and possibly blowing your engine or spinning your tires too much.
Right.
Because you're gonna have to upshift right away, regardless.
Yep. Yeah.
Looks like we have a close fight here for P11. The 897 of Gregory Snowbaker got loose out of the end of turn 4, trying to get that position from Jared Kelly.
Yeah, and right behind there you have Stephen Harden, who's also trying to catch up with that pack. And it's a fun race over here. It's all the way in the back, but it looks like they're having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And he is taking that inside line right now. So Greg is getting... Oh, and that was a...
Contact.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was contact. It was a security part, but he does get past him.
Yeah.
Really nice work.
Oh, you see the 88 of Jared Kelly get tightened into the wall on the exit of turn 2.
Yeah, exactly. And Greg was so really good to hold that car. And he is past him right now.
Yeah, you see in P7, Kevin Bullock has already made his way up there fighting with that second pack behind the leaders.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
He's up 6 spots, and Doug Neal, I think, is another one that's just making that charge, and so that's going to make what, 5 or 6 cars in that second pack there.
Yeah, expect some beating and banging coming soon, guys.
Well, guys, I do think that Nate Mower is just running away. David Medina can't even hold him on the moment. And he is just 3.6 seconds away, or 3.0 seconds away. And Medina is running away from Justin White, so it's this long pack getting up here in this small track.
Yeah, it almost looks like David has gone into some saving tires mode. If you see, he's not going all the way. He's about half a lane higher than Justin White was in turn 3 and 4.
I'm starting to wonder if we're going to start to see some pitting for tires under green here, because I've been following Kevin Bullock running in P7, and the last 2 laps around, exiting P2, he's just kissed the outside wall on the exit of turn 2. Just looks just a little unsteady. It makes me wonder about his tires, and you know, we're completed 30 laps now out of 165.
Yeah, that may be one of the scariest parts about racing in oval, because if you push too hard too early in a long race like this, your tires are going to fall off and you're going to have to deal with it, because if you pit now, you're going to be short on fuel and have to pit maybe 1 or maybe even 2 extra times more than the rest of the field.
So what do you think then, Nate, is what is going through the mind of Nate? Is he going too quick when you see the rest of the pack, or can you manage something in that in the race?
I think when you're on the pace that Nathan Mower is, I don't think he's pushing very hard. I think he's around a moderate pace. As you see, he's about to catch Gary Wright and put him a lap down. Gary Wright has some damage in P15 to his right rear quarter panel. But
yeah, he went into the pit quite early together with Tommy Fox, so I do think there was a slight contact over there. We didn't see it.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and look at that, but it almost looks like you're seeing Nathan Mower get a little tight on in the middle of turn 3 and 4, if you take a peek at that.
Hey, but how awesome. I just want to mention it, Gary Wright, the 50th time that he's driving a race. You got to be having dedication. I think that's an amazing job.
Yeah, that's a pretty monumental experience here. Battle for P3, actually. Justin White and David Medina. Justin White's caught right back up to the pack. Same with Joey Stiers and Brandon Shelton.
And Justin White is taking that inside line.
Yeah, you see David going up high. He's doing that as a move to try and save his tires as much as he can. He's not necessarily letting them by, but he's making sure that Justin has to pass him on the inside rather than the outside.
Yeah, you do see that Joey Stiers is having a quick look on there. He's going a little bit closer to David Medina, who is now really going to that outside. Is that really just saving tires, or is that giving room?
I think it's saving tires, and around here, whenever you're battling like this, if you run it just right, you will actually be a lot faster. You'll see Medina actually have more straight line speed if he continues that run on the exit of 4. He'll be much quicker on the exit, but it looks like Stiers and White are going to get the move done.
It's not the typical Joey Stiers that I see. Normally he's pacing a lot more, or he's like going forward. He's really looking carefully if he can follow Justin White.
Yeah, I think maybe just some strategy from Joey. I assume he thought that there would be a lot more cautions in this race. so he was probably just trying to hang back a little bit and try and not be a part of the chaos.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting also when you have someone like Nate Mower who's pulling out of the lead like this. It feels like it puts a lot of pressure on everyone else. You know, and so you know, people don't want to get a lap down, so they're going to have to push a little bit harder as long as Nate is able to maintain this kind of pace.
Yeah, because Mate is really eating up the rest of the field. He's now already seeing Fox and Kelly right in the back over there, who have an interesting fight. So, Clayton, a question for you. Do we get, like, now Nate, are the people in front of him going away? Are they moving away, or are they fighting till the end?
I think they're still trying to push to try and get up there, but I really think it looks like Nathan Mower's running away with it right now. Because if you look at the last laps, Nathan Mower is about 2/10 slower than Justin White, but he's been a lot more consistent throughout the entire race, and that's why he's built up this gap. The real key to oval racing, which I'm sure it is much similar to road, is that, but although the oval tires fall off faster, you really just got to be fast, but consistency is way more important.
They've completed 42 laps, so we're about a quarter of the way through. It's just been solid green flag, clean racing. A couple drivers have, you know, basically just scraped the outside walls out of turn 2 or turn 4, but it's been pretty clean, and really haven't seen even much nose to tail contact throughout the field, even though there's been some pretty close in battling up and down the field.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and take a look at this Gary Wright incident here with Thomas Fox you mentioned. Doesn't seem...
Yeah, while we do that, we keep watching Joey Styres and Brandon Shelton up here with Justin White right in front of them. Looks like David Medina is falling off a little bit, has difficulties to really follow this group. Maybe he's waiting for Nick Mills, who is right behind him, and Kevin Bullock, because we know that those guys are fast. So we'll see if they catch up with David Medina and can make sure that we go to the first pack again. Or actually, it's the second pack, because the first pack is just Nate Mower, all by himself.
Yeah, it's Nate all by himself, but then, you know, positions 2 through 8. Starting with Justin White and going back down to Doug Neal, you know, they've really kind of formed this second pack. And then, you know, Jeff Pfeiffer, Greg Snellbaker, Josh Thompson, Jared Kelly, Thomas Fox, Steve Harden, and Gary Wright then makes up the whole field.
Yeah, it looks like, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Looks like lap 25, you have Gary Wright entering turn 1 and 2 with Thomas Fox going slowly on the bottom. He gets around Thomas Fox just fine, but then gasses it too hard and takes a big chunk out of the wall on exit turn 2.
Yeah, I do think you made a right point, Clayton, with being consistent. It's nice to have a fast lap, but to have 165 laps consistent, that's really difficult.
Yeah, you see with Kevin, seems like P7, Kevin Bullock, and Nick Mills having a pretty tough battle. Kevin Bullock made his way up through the pack, but it looks like he may have pushed a little too hard, as he may be known for the past few races, qualifying high up, but then his tires fall off. Looks like that may be the case again.
Yeah, I agree, Clayton. That's what it looks like. And, you know, Doug Neal has been shadowing him the whole race. So he might have a similar problem right now, or a similar kind of issue with tires right now.
Yeah, I think in the next few laps you're going to see, you might want to keep an eye on Doug Neal. I think he may get a little tight and kiss the wall here soon. But he's got nobody behind him, so shouldn't be too big of an issue.
So when you're, so now we're 50 laps into this 165 lap race. It's been solid green flag racing the whole time. Your tires are not making you happy? When do you start entertaining thoughts of pitting?
Oh, from probably from lap 10 because the tires are already going to be screaming for help. But you just got to keep pushing. I think really, for me, lap 60 would be the earliest I would pit, but I don't even think I would pit that early in this case. I would say you're maybe looking at 65 to 80 would be the latest you would ever pit. But realistically, for Nate Mower, he's going to want to, in my opinion, he's going to want to stay out as long as he can because he's got the gap. He's got about a 5-second gap to second place Justin White. So if he can stay out as long as he can, as he's got a big gap to Jeff Pfeiffer after he deals with Gregory Snowbaker here. He's just going to want to stay out and try and keep that gap.
Yeah, we're driving along here with Joey Stiers, who is just following Justin White, as you said. Not trying to do too much, really saving those tires.
Yeah, Joey Stiers he's essentially just been shadowing what Justin White's doing, and it seems to be working out pretty well. You just know there has to be some sort of incident here soon, especially if we go to green flag pit stops with how tight the pit road entry is on turn 3. I'm sure you may see something happen.
Yeah, and while you say that, I was listening to Joey, and he had some preservations to go into that turn. He's really careful.
Oh, you got the 27 of Stephen Harding pitting here in, looks like, position 14.
Yeah, I think that's our first taker under green here, and I wonder if that's going to kick off others that are going to take a look at them and do the same thing.
See, you really do see him snailing around a little bit. His tires have to be gone. Oh, you got 3 cars coming in right now. Nick Mills, Kevin Bullock, and Stephen Hardin all at the same time.
Yeah, we thought about that. Kevin Bullock was pushing a lot. Good to see that they at least go with the 3 of them, so they can play some games again.
Yeah, guys, I guess I must have been wrong. I guess if you're losing some time, you go for the undercut, but I would definitely say lap 60 is, for me, the earliest I would pit, but that's not it seems like they're going for the undercut here, personally.
Yeah. Well, lap 57 is where we're at now, so they're pretty close. And, the undercut is sort of a risky strategy on a track like this, isn't it? Because you put yourself a lap down. Yeah,
you put yourself a lap down, then if you're already up there with the other lap down guys, you're going to be fighting with them. You actually most likely put yourself almost 2 laps down, as you see Nick Mills come out right behind the race leader of Nathan Mower.
Yeah.
But he's going to get that lap right back and go right back to 1 lap down. Racing pretty hard here.
So like Jared Kelly is in the pit. Looks like Steve Hardin's come in again.
Yeah, he may have gotten a speeding penalty.
Yeah.
Let me, I'll go check that out.
Yeah, Nate Mower is just keep continuing, although the distance is getting a little bit closer to Justin White. Justin is 4.8 seconds behind there. And then we have Joey Stiers, Brendan Shelton, David Medina, and Doug Neal right behind there. But now it's going to be chaos. Everybody going into the pit, or not.
Yeah, it looks like Stephen Hardin may have gotten a speeding on pit road penalty exiting his pit box there. Boy, pit road speed is a slug rate of 40 miles an hour here.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks like he may have a stop and go here, or maybe he's fixing some damage. As you see, he may have some right front damage.
Boy, that's a killer. But it looks like he's still in the race, but he'll be laps down.
All right, and we do see that Nate Mower still runs. I was expecting him to come in quite early, because you do see that that distance with White is getting closer and closer.
Yeah, absolutely. I would assume Justin White is just on the strategy that Nate Mower is at this rate.
Yeah, so Nate Maurer's lead is down to under 5 seconds, about 4.5 seconds over Justin White.
Yeah, and what do you think about Joey Styres? He's also losing a little bit of touch with Justin White. I do see the pack is going up a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think Joey is. I think he's just gonna. Maybe he's realized that he really has nobody behind him to worry about quite yet. He's got Brandon Shelton coming up behind him, but there's really no point in pushing too hard right now and risk wrecking yourself out.
Now we see someone in the back. Jeffrey Fiver is actually going into the pit now as well.
And that's 65 laps completed, so 100 to go.
Wow.
Yeah,
no.
Peter, that's the good news. I actually have the numbers fixed again, so I can see the lap numbers. Great help from Chris by pointing that out.
That's
You've got quite a cool track in terms of a Richmond Raceway. It's only 101 degrees out right now on the track. I'd definitely expect to see hotter with the time of day, but I guess the sun gods and the cloud gods may have calmed down a little bit for today.
I guess a beautiful fall day in Virginia.
Yep.
Virginia countryside. Could
Absolutely.
be nice.
It's funny because I was actually last week in Richmond and the weather wasn't that great. We had a couple of good days, but I do have to say it's different weather than here in Atlanta. And while I do see that Harden is going a little bit quicker than Joey Styres. Joey is having really difficulties to hold his car on that inside line.
Gregory Selbaker just entered pit lane. Lap 68.
He's probably going to opt to get that optional fix is what I would do with the pace he's on right now. I really think the strategy with Nate Mower is he's just going to keep pushing and try to keep putting cars between him and the two guys behind. Right now he's got the 88 of Jared Kelly, the 27 of Stephen Harden between him and Justin White, who is continuously starting to bear down, although last lap Nathan Mower was still 2/10 quicker than Justin White. You do have Joey Styres starting to pick up speed on Justin White a little bit here.
It is impressive. I'm really just amazed at how hard these guys are able to run. All green, 71 laps in.
Are you disappointed as me? I was expecting a lot more. I have completely cameras for these yellow flags, but these guys are running and keep running. 71 laps.
Position 6, Doug Neal had a little tight affair with Nick Mills, maybe a little bit of a kiss that I saw, but it looks like everybody got through it clean.
Well, it's a kiss I made up. Looks like they're doing really fine over there, and they're right behind Nick Mills. So, Clayton, how do you... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I was just going to say, when you actually see the in real life cars racing here, you can understand why they call this the action track, because this is the one track where you do expect to see a lot of accidents, a lot of incidents, and these guys are running better, cleaner than the real life Cup drivers right now.
Yeah, I think a factor for that's got to be just the field size, really. We've only got what looks like 15 cars on track currently, which is still plenty, but with a much bigger field size, you're gonna have a lot more cautions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that's one of the things of the Puckett brothers, are admins of this league, who do that really well. It's not just everybody joining. They always have a good good look at the field and how big it is. I always like that. We have a couple of new people who want to join, but they're currently on a waiting list because it's not that easy to get into this Bonfire Racing League.
Yeah, no.
Well, I'm looking at the battle for P2, and Joey Styres, Justin White are just side by side now, I think, for a couple laps here.
Yeah, and you've got Kevin Bullock on fresh tires, but I think I think the guys who pit a little early may get the crap end of the stick here, because their tires are gonna already be about halfway done by the time you have Nate Mower, Justin White, Joey Steers, Brandon Shelton, the top 6 all pit. Although currently in P7, Kevin Bullock is in the lucky dog spot if there's a caution.
I was just saying, is there a caution? Because no, there's no caution. These guys just keep continuing. Joey Stiers, I do have to say, he's very consistent in his driving along with him. And he has seen Justin White just the whole race and is just following.
So these top 6 guys that haven't pitted yet, they will be coming to the end of their fuel runs here. They've completed 78 laps. Especially Nate Mower has been pushing pretty hard, so you'd expect, what, maybe 5-6 laps of fuel left at most?
Yeah, I definitely expect to see Nathan Mower coming in within the next few laps, as looks like number 6 at Garrett Wright's going to be coming in this lap.
Yeah, and along with those guys, Josh Thompson, Thomas Fox also haven't yet pitted. And so we've got now, besides Josh Thompson and Thomas Fox, we've got Nate Mower, Justin White, Joey Stiers, Brandon Shelton, Doug Neal, and David Medina as the remaining drivers who have not yet pitted for fuel or tires. Yeah,
David Medina, I think that's a great driver. Is always so patient, but always comes back in the front. He's currently on the 6th position, right behind Doug Neal. Do you think they are working together?
What was that? I'm sorry, I was messing with some settings.
No worry. While I'm saying that, I do see that who's in front of. I think Thompson is going a little bit quicker.
Josh Thompson dives into the pits. You got the 57 of Thomas Fox coming into the pits here now.
I do see that Thompson has a little bit of damage on the outside of his car. Probably kissed the wall a couple of times. So when is Nate coming in? He is 4.4 seconds behind, in front of Justin White. Looks like he just keeps it steady.
Yeah, we've passed the halfway point of the race with that lap, and
I'd assume at this point the top 6 may be looking at a 1-stop here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, if there's a caution, that'll really throw a wrench into the mix, one could say.
Oh, and it looks like our leader, Nate Mower, has
Mower into the pits.
And
followed by Joey Stiers, Justin White.
Yep.
David Medina coming in as well. Brandon Shelton, everybody. That's what you see a lot. Doug Neal as well. Is it's just a lot of follow the leader, to be honest. And when it comes to oval.
Yeah, they were all just waiting for Nate to make his move, and he's done it under green, and so that will complete the entire field pitting under green for their first tire and fuel stops.
Now it'll be interesting to see who gets out first here. So Nathan Mower still gets out first, followed by Joey Stiers in second. I believe he came in after Justin White. Not sure. Justin White in third. You got Brandon Shelton in chase. Doug Neal definitely comes out before Medina, and he came in after him.
Yeah, there's a lot to gain on this pit entry and pit exit. I do think that Nate has the best exit on that one, because he's immediately ahead of everybody.
Yeah, you'll see him start getting his positions back over position 1 and 2, who seem to have pit on lap 6. Their tires are already about 30 laps or so older than Nate's are.
Well, do have a quick look at Kevin Bullock driving currently on that first position. I love that car from him. Great paint over there. The grub guy. I'm not sure how to interpret that one, but we'll ask Kevin when he comes into the booth. But he's currently on that first position. Had a lot of time, went in a little bit early. But right behind him is Nick Mills. Pink Nick.
Yeah, I love that paint scheme also from Nick. That bright pink makes it so easy to track the car, and really stands out. All of these guys, that's a great thing about this league is the guys really do put in some thought into their paint schemes. It really shows up well.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have some great paints next week.
Yeah, so what can we expect for next week? It's going to be a new or a last race. Is there anything special that we have to pay attention for?
Oh, just to interrupt here, Nate Moore has caught up now to Nick Mills and is driving underneath at the start-finish and has now taken P2.
Yeah, that was a good call out.
Yeah, he's tracking down Kevin Bullock now.
Yeah, I think you're going to see Kevin Bullock put up a little more of a fight. But, I don't know. His tires are definitely, he's already feeling the pain. He's got to make another stop while Nate Mower has to really pace himself at this rate. Kevin Bullock taking the very high line here in turn 1 and 2.
And you see that Nate is just aiming for him. Man, but Nate goes really quick. We're looking from the back from Kevin Bullock, and Nate is just going off. It's amazing, impressive to see that.
Yeah, Nate is really just picking guys off as he goes on down the inside of Kevin Bullock in 1 and 2 here.
Yeah.
Just lets him by, looks like. Now you'll really see Nathan start to pace himself. His fast lap of the race is a 22.0. But I don't think you'll see him get anywhere near that right now.
Clayton, one thing that Pim and I have wondered, because sometimes in road racing, as you know, because we know you're also a great road racer, sometimes you will stay behind. Like Nate Moore could have stayed behind Kevin Bullock and just kept up the pressure on him. Knowing that his tires are old and off, and just try to pressure him into maybe going to the pits or doing something. But instead, he just went right around him. How do you think about that strategically? Do you just want to get the track position right away like Nate did there, or is there value in just staying behind and keeping up pressure on someone?
Well, I think right now, with the fresher tires that Nathan has, if he waits any longer, his tires are going to fall off. You see the tire fall off a lot more extreme in oval racing and NASCAR that you would in road. In road, you can push about probably like 10 times further lap-wise almost. Yeah. But you really just want to get the pass done if there's a slower car as quick as you can, or your tires may end up on the same on level pegging with the guy ahead.
Makes sense. So now I guess we have to wonder, for these guys that pitted earlier, that includes Kevin Bullock running in P2 and Nick Mills running in P4. They've got to be thinking, about their second stops for tires. There are a few others out there. Jared Kelly's been out there for 40 laps. And so, it's, these guys that are a little out of sequence, they're gonna have to think pretty hard now. We're closing in on 100 laps.
Yeah, they were. I believe Kevin Bullock and the rest of the early pitters were probably thinking everybody else would do the same, but looks like Nathan Mower is really on the strategy of he's just gonna get to the front and really pace himself here. Because as you may see on the lap times, Kevin Bullock is about half a second slower than the car behind, Joey Styres in third. Nick Mills the same. Nick Mills is almost a second slower than Justin White as Justin White gets the pass done for P4.
Boy, half second or a second is that's a lot of time on a short track like this. That's pretty incredible.
And I do see that Joey Styres is now also getting a little bit closer to Nate Mower. So could be still something to go for.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think you'll really see Joey. He's got to start pushing now if he wants to make up any pace. So he's got about a 4.5 second gap to the car ahead. Kevin Bullock, Stephen Harden diving into the pits once again.
Someday soon, I've got to get myself to a real life short track race. I'd just love to see this in real life.
Yeah, sometimes you got to go to your local random redneck, as you could say, short track and just see what you can get into.
Yeah. Steve Harden's in the pits.
Yep.
Guys, I'm looking at the lap times. I clearly see that Joey Styres is in every lap for the last 5 laps quicker than Nate Mower. So Joey Styres is really pushing his car.
Yeah, he's really starting to reel him in. Last time I looked, he was about a second behind Kevin Bullock, I believe, or 4.5 behind Kevin Bullock. I'm not sure what happened to him.
One of the things that's amazing also, I think that not only did we not expect this race to go green, for more than 100 laps like this, but also, the top 14 drivers here looks like are all on the lead lap. Is that right?
Nope, you got Gary Wright at the bottom, 3 laps down, and
Right.
Jeff Pfeiffer is currently your lucky dog.
Yeah, I'm reading the timing charts wrong. Yep.
And that's why we have an expert up here who can help us always.
Thank God.
Yeah, I may have to step in the booth a little more often. I'm having a blast, guys.
All right, well, that sounds very good, and it's good to hear that. I do have to say, normally we have a little bit more an exciting race. Now it's just the Nate Mower show with Joey Styres and Justin White behind him. I do have to say, Kevin Bullock, I'm curious what he's going to do. He still needs to go for that pit. There's going to be something that he needs to think about.
I think he's really just hoping for a caution at this rate. That's all they can really wish for. If a caution comes out, you're going to probably see the whole field dive in.
Yeah.
And all that time spent by Nathan Mower will be for naught almost.
Right. Yeah, same Nick Mills and Kevin Bullock both have to be praying for that.
Yeah, we do see the Joey Styres now really getting closer. He's actually in the same shot right now with Nate Mower. In the back, that little green dot.
Yeah, the Incredible Hulkmobile's gonna be right up Nate Mower's alley here soon.
I think it would look good for the championship if Nate wins this one, because then it's going to be really exciting next week.
Yeah, he really needs this one. Same with Brandon Shelton, who's in 4th. He still has a shot to win it if he gets maybe P2 or surprises us with a win.
Yeah,
I think you may have Justin White diving into the pits. Nope, I'm wrong. Sorry about that.
No, that's Nick Mills. Nick Mills goes into the pit.
Yeah, Nick Mills, and so that leaves Kevin Bullock, who's now what?
No, Kevin is joining immediately. When Nick goes, Kevin goes.
Yep.
But does that mean, Clayton, that this is going to be their final pit stop? If there are no yellows?
This is their final pit stop, 100%. They're gonna have much fresher tires, and Nathan Mower is gonna be the wild card here. But I think Nathan and Joey and Justin have just built too big of a gap for them to make a comeback. But once you commit to the 2-stop, you can't try and switch it to a 1-stop. You gotta keep on keeping on.
Well, and that's exactly what Nate Mower is doing. He's just keeping on. It's impressive to see that consistency. You need to have a lot of patience going past all those other drivers.
So, you know, Nate, if he can maintain this pace, I think the only hope for Kevin Bullock and Nick Mills is if we get a full course caution. But even with that, it's going to be tough. And if a caution does come in, say, the next 10, 20 laps, I guess, Clayton, what do you think? You know, Nate Moore, Joey Stires, Justin White, they would have the option to stay out and not pit.
If a yellow comes out, I think they're going to have to pit because the guys behind them are more than likely. I believe if a yellow comes out, you'll see everybody dive in because you're going to want to have the fresher tires. Joey Stires is definitely losing some pace here. It looks like he pushed his tires too hard.
Boy, this is incredible. You know, you know, even though we are seeing some drop off in lap times, they're, you know, in the mid 23s right now. It's incredible that they can push this hard, this long around the track.
Yeah, it's really impressive how Nathan Mower has just kept his lap times this consistent and pushed as hard as he has.
And we're driving along with Justin White, and we can see that incredible Hulk coming closer. Joey Stires is really into the side right now. Maybe with the help of Hardin, Justin White can really get in there.
Yeah, I think what you're really going to be seeing, maybe an it factor here, could be the quicker cars getting by Nathan Mower after having their fresh tires could possibly slow down Nathan a little bit.
It's a good point, Clayton, because I was watching, and you're right, the guys with the fresher tires are, you know, going around, and Nate's, you can tell he is being very careful just to let them by, give them plenty of room.
Yeah, this will be Joey Stires' hope for getting back in it, as he's probably got to let Stephen Hardin by pretty soon. He's on 15 lap fresher tires than Joey is, so we'll see what happens here for P2.
Gregory Snellbaker is in the pit lane now.
Yeah, I believe he last pit 50 laps ago, so definitely possibly time for him to get those tires back on. Especially if you're just one of the slower guys in the pack at this rate. You really don't want to mess up the race for others and maybe wreck the leader.
Yeah.
That is one of the things with this Bonfire Racing League, where there's a lot of there are not many rules, but there's not many accidents happening. I never look into the real depths of this race, but I have a feeling they're all very nice, clean drivers who just want to have a nice Sunday morning, and currently that's going quite well. Nate Mower is going away again from Joey Stires, or is that just my numbers? I see that he's 4.5 seconds ahead. It grows quite quickly.
Yeah, Nathan Mower has consistently been around the 23 flat, 23-1 mark, while over the course of the last few laps, you've had Joey Stires as recently going into the 23.5s and consistently being 23.2, 23.3.
Well, you know, Pim, it might be a nice Sunday drive, but I'm telling you, doing consistent 23-second laps, you know, with 40 laps on your tires, I'm sure there's nothing relaxing about that for any of these guys.
Oh, no. It's nice and relaxed when you look at the broadcast and you have a cup of coffee in your hand. Then it's all fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see David Medina working on unlapping himself now for currently in P6.
So we've got, you know, the top 6 drivers with 40 laps on their tires. And then, you know, Kevin Bullock and Nick Mills, who are on much fresher tires, running in P7 and P8.
Oh, I was wrong actually. David Medina going a lap down while being on. He's on the same strategy as Nathan Mower, it looks like.
Yeah.
As well, so that'll be a big hit for Medina. He's definitely open for a caution, currently sitting in the lucky dog spot. First car a lap down. Only 5 cars on the lead lap, and all of which are the guys who pit together on lap 85, other than David Medina and Thomas Fox.
So
By the
guys, how
way,
is it
when,
with Justin White? I'm curious if he's getting any closer to Joey Styres.
Yeah, it definitely looks like Justin White's running 23.2s, 23.1s, while Joey Styres is still in the 23.5s. You could see a tight battle coming up here soon within the next 5-10 laps.
Yeah. Clayton, I wanted, since you're new in the broadcast booth, I wanted to correct you that the official term in the Cavalcade Racing Network is yellow dog, not lucky dog.
Dog, my apologies. The yellow, Dave Medina currently the yellow dog. Hopefully we maybe we won't even get to let the dog out. I just hope we get a yellow so we can collectively see who let the dogs out here soon. That's a good idea. Every time there's a lucky dog, you have a little sound bite.
Right.
Yeah. We're making this bigger and bigger than it is. It's gonna be fun.
It's time for your who let the dogs out yellow dog.
Yeah.
Justin White really getting to the rear of Joey Styres here for P2. This would be... Yeah. Styres really has to try and keep him behind and do some damage control here, as look at Justin White has preserved his tires much better.
But Clayton, how can you still do that? Like, Justin has been lap after lap quicker and quicker. If we look at the lap times...
The wall. There's a lap car, Jeff Pfeiffer, trying to get under him.
Who was hitting the wall?
Justin White on the backstretch there.
Oh.
Looks like maybe pushing too hard on the exit of 2. Sorry to interrupt you there.
No. The thing is, I'm looking with Justin White. I didn't see him hit the wall, but you have probably a better look on that part. But have a quick look with the times. I do see that Justin White is nearly every lap quicker than Joey Styres, although it's only a 1/10. So he is also playing a little bit. Oh, and we do see Joey Styres first.
From Jeff Pfeiffer.
That was a small slip over there.
Yeah, even those can really scare you if you're the car behind, especially in the position Justin White is, with already making a mistake a lap or so ago.
Well, I'm sitting in the broadcast and it looked scary, so I can definitely imagine that.
So just to recap, we've got this Nate Mower in the lead, Joey Styres and Justin White. We've been really tracking closely, and then followed by Brandon Shelton and Doug Neal and David Medina. And that top group of 6 has been out now for close to 50 laps. And then they're followed by Kevin Bullock and Nick Mills, who had that more recent pit stop about 23 laps ago. And then Thomas Fox, Jeff Pfeiffer, that rounds out your top 10. And then after them, Gregory Snellbaker, Josh Thompson, Gary Wright, Jared Kelly, and Steve Harden.
You have Josh Thompson diving into the pits again. Yeah, I think unfortunately for the 2-stop guys, they may have met their own demise here. As you see, Nathan Mower is about less than half a track behind Kevin Bullock, it looks like. Maybe just over half.
Well, I think we were all wrong on our full course caution predictions.
Yeah.
Well, don't be too quick.
I wouldn't say that yet.
Yeah.
Once if something happens here and we get the pack bunched up, you never know what'll happen.
Yeah.
9 is still possible. I don't think 9 we're gonna get an. Oh, we do see that Joey Styres is getting a little bit into the trouble. He's getting really close over there.
Yeah, you got Jeff Pfeiffer trying to unlap himself from Joey Styres, although he is still 3 laps down. But with the fresher tires, you can't just continue to sit behind a guy like that. Justin White right on the rear of Joey Styres right now.
Yeah, it looked like Justin White even had to check up a little bit there.
Yeah, and he's
Oh,
going to do that again over here.
Oh, big slip up from Justin White. Same with Jeff Pfeiffer right in front of the 23 of Joey Styres, the Hulk machine.
Yeah, Joey, I think, just had to keep it steady and hope for the best.
Yeah,
clean.
You'll definitely see them both get loose from time to time on exit 4 here. It is just so slippery on a sunny track like this here at Richmond.
You know, Clayton, you know, when I was taking some recon laps, you know, that exit at turn 4 just looks so wide open, you know, because the D kind of opens up there on this D oval. And I just kept scraping the wall every other lap because of that. It just tricks you into thinking that you can, you know, get a faster exit out of there.
Yeah, it's especially in these high horsepower machines we have here. Joey Styres with a moment out of 4 and 2. Looks like his tires are definitely falling off. Justin White has the upper hand here. He's just got to be patient.
Yeah, Justin is going for that outside line a little bit, making it Joey Styres really difficult. Getting him to work on those tires even harder. Look at that, Justin. Joey Styres is not even going up anymore. He stays on that inside line.
Yeah, you really gotta protect your position here and just maybe hold the inside and pray. But it looks like we got a tight battle coming into 3 side by side.
Oh.
What a run by Justin White here.
Yeah, they make it so exciting that we actually forget that Nate Mower is 7 seconds away, guys.
Yeah, he's really run away with this one.
And now Thompson is coming in between those White and Styres. Is he going to make it even more difficult?
Looks like some strife between the 997 and Joey Styres here on the airwaves a little bit, but seems to be sorted out.
Well, we do see that Thompson is not finished yet. Is also going for Justin White. Really want to unlap himself. But Joey Styres is falling back a little bit. Needs to go in a lot quicker to get back to Justin White. Otherwise, there is no risk for him to come even close to Nate Mower.
Yeah,
well, we're in the end game of this race now, so 20 laps to go.
It'll be quite the challenge for Justin White to get back up to Nate Mower.
Isn't it already done? Clay Kellington, what do you think? Isn't it already done?
What was that? I'm sorry?
Isn't it already done? Like, is Nate not just going to win this race? 90 to go. He's been leading the whole time.
It's quite likely unless we have an incident here. And then you've got the incredible Hulk losing some time for sure here. He's 5/10 slower, just Joey Styres in P3 than Justin White in P2, who's 2/10 quicker or 3/10 quicker than Nate Mower. So, but I don't think that'll be enough if we go green the rest of the way.
Yeah, if we do get a yellow though, you know, David Medina is in the yellow dog spot, and you know, just in terms of the season point standings, you know, that would really kind of give us a shootout at the end. That would be pretty exciting. But it's just, you know, it's just been so clean here.
Yeah, I think you may even have a little bit of a surprise with Brandon Shelton here.
Well, guys, I do want to mention that we finally see Justin White having a little bit of quicker times than Nate Mower. It's 146 laps, but we finally get into the time where Justin White is going to go a little bit quicker. Curious if that next lap is also in that, because that would really mean that they're getting closer. But no, it's not. Nate continues this laps. Man, Nate is strong.
Yeah, Nathan's having a really good drive today. As a battle for 10th position, Gregory Snellbaker gets by the 57 of Thomas Fox. Although they are all one lap. Now Kevin Bullock in P7 has to distribute of Gregory Snellbaker here.
Yeah, guys, and we haven't seen him that much, but what do you think about Doug Neal in that 5th position? Slowly going up again.
He hasn't had too bad of a drive. He's done pretty decent for himself. I think it was really just getting off the mark that's gonna. You really got to get a strong start here if you want to finish strong. If it goes green all the way.
Just seeing Steve Harden down in the pit lane.
Yeah, maybe he's been picking up some damage here.
Yeah.
Justin White with a moment on the exit of 4. A little bit loose.
Yeah, but he has nothing to worry from Joey Styres anymore. I don't feel that Joey Styres is coming any closer.
Yeah, I don't think he'll have anything to worry about really. Joey's tired. Joey has definitely pushed much harder. Just trying to keep up with Nate Mower, but seems to be for not.
Yeah, and he can probably, if he's giving up on taking P2 from Justin White, then he's got a big gap over Brandon Shelton for that P3 spot that he's currently holding.
Yeah, so currently we have Nate Mower in the lead, 8 seconds from Joey Styres. No, Justin White. And then 2 seconds with Joey Styres, so that is our podium. Is Brandon Shelton gonna come back? What do you guys think? Is that too far away? We have 10 laps to go.
Yeah, that's surely too far away. Especially, Brandon would have to be 3 to 4 tenths quicker per lap, and it looks like that just isn't happening. As Joey was still quicker last lap over Brandon. Yeah, caution would really mix things up here, but you got David Medina at the yellow dog position in P6. If there were one, I would definitely expect everybody to dive in and it'd be a shootout, but
yeah,
I'm not expecting one at this point.
I do have to say, it would be so unfair. But that's just me.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
I totally get what you're saying, Pim. As people who've just followed road racing instead of oval racing, all our lives, the kind of luck of the draw on full course cautions is the one thing that's the hardest to get used to. But it also is something that just creates a kind of excitement that you don't get in road racing.
Yeah, it's a little bit when there's a crash, you're really sad for that person, but you're also happy for the free spot. I find that there's some things that are just different in this part. We do see that Nate Mower is now right behind Doug Neal, so he's really doing the whole pack a lap. That's also amazing to see, but that's possible when you have no yellows in here.
Yeah, when you have no yellows at a short track, you can expect probably 50% or more of the field to get lapped if they're just not on the pace of the leader, which looks to be unmatched by Nate Mower.
Yeah.
So do we still have any fights going on? Because I think our top 3 is pretty there. We have Brandon Shelton right behind there, and then we have everybody on a lap.
Yeah, not really a fight, but some close racing between P10 of Gregory Snellbaker and Stephen Harden and Kevin Bullock. For a moment there, they were possibly even slowing down Joey Styres, trying to get around him.
Yeah, Joey has 8 seconds lead on Brandon Shelton, so doesn't really have to worry much with 4 laps to go.
Yeah, if this goes green for the rest of the way, you'll definitely see probably the finishing positions be what they are now, except for the lap down guys. But I can't see the gap as Kevin Bullock maybe gassing it too hard and getting loose on the straightaway on the back straight. Down P7. Maybe you're regretting the decision to not qualify today.
Yeah. So we are seeing the top 5 runners right now, which are looking pretty solid. Top 6, all looking set to finish this race with a 1-stop strategy.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely not what I expected, but
Yeah.
I guess with myself not being great at saving tires, I would have gone for the 2-stop. But a guy like Nathan Mower, Justin White, especially Mower and Stiers, I know they can really do that.
Nate just took the white flag.
Yeah, wow, what a race, green all the way.
Yeah, incredible. And here he comes.
For Nathan Mower with a slide across the line and
Yep.
here at Richmond.
That was one of the most dominating performances in the Bonfire Premier Cup all season.
Yeah, I'd love to see how many laps he led.
And so then, as you had predicted, Clayton, no change in the top 6. Justin White finishing 2nd. Joey Stiers rounds out the podium, finishing in 3rd. And then following them, Brandon Shelton, Doug Neal, David Medina, Kevin Bullock, Nick Mills, Jeff Pfeiffer, and Gregory Snellbaker rounds out the top 10. And then finally, we have Thomas Fox, Jared Kelly, Josh Thompson, Gary Wright, and Steve Harden.
You got your top 3 doing some. We may have to put a sensor bar over that. I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at, but yeah, a great race overall. Not what I expected at all.
I think it's amazing what these guys did. They could run, first off, the whole field running green, start to finish. And then for these top 6 to do it on a one-stop strategy on this track, it's just unbelievable to me.
Yeah, the right side tires have to be crying, screaming for help currently on all those cars that did the one stop. I'm sure their tires aren't very happy with the performance given today, but they got through it. That's all that matters.
Guys, this was amazing. We only have 4 people on the same lap. For the rest, everybody has been lapped. Nate really showed us how to handle this short track. Congratulations to him on the first position. Will be interesting to see if we get anything on the championship, because that will make some slight differences in the league.
Well, Pam, I've just pulled in our podium. Nate Mower, Justin White, Joey Stiers, they're all in the broadcast booth. And why don't I hand off to Clayton? I'm sure he's got some questions for these guys.
Yeah, Nate, that was a crazy race. I was definitely expecting the 2-stop to come out, and I'm really glad you guys made the one-stop work. I saw the gap you built to P2 and the rest of the guys that were going for the 2-stop. How did you just manage to save your tires like that and keep the pace up?
I don't know. I think what always helps me is I'm not always the fastest, but the tire wear comes into play. I've always been decent at saving tires, and yeah, that's kind of what this race came down to, saving tires. Because well, I like to say congratulations to everybody in here, no matter where you finish. This race went completely green, and I think a lot of drivers have been waiting for that, and that's what we got today. And it was excellent driving all of them for racing clean. Big congrats to Gary Wright. This was the 50th start today, and I gave him the most respectful driver on the track award today. Even though he was a lap or 2 down, he would always move right out of the leader's way, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah, real quick, guys. Joey Stiers now. I see you maybe just pushed a little too hard. Is that what it came down to, and ended up in P3?
Absolutely. That last run, I thought I could just get as close as I could on the pit stop exchange to Justin and Nate, but Nate was just flat flying. I was running him down, and I had the biggest grin on my face. It's like I'm probably burning up my tires, and that's exactly what I did there, and I just didn't have anything left. He was really good at saving tires, and yeah, there's just nothing for him.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Pim and Peter, that when you and I have been in races together almost as teammates a few times, we've been in the voice chat. You've definitely been better at saving tires than what it seems like the rest of the field, but I knew if you had any chance, you really had to catch up to Nate Mower after the pit stop exchange. You really had to push.
Yeah, I really made the mistake on my qualifying lap, and it kind of set me back, and like you guys said in the broadcast, I was listening during the race. I was thinking we were going to have some early cautions, and I was just trying to ride and ride. And I was like, the caution never came, and I was like, all right, well, new game plan, got to do something here. So started driving up little by little, and my tires held up that first run. But yeah, that second run, it was just the complete 180.
Yeah, I almost knew that you were hanging back a little bit, hoping for a caution, but it never came. I'll hand it off to Pim and Peter here, though.
Yeah, hey Justin, this is Peter, and great P2 finish, great race. What did it look like from your perspective?
Man, this car was a complete handful on that second run. That first run took a little bit easier to start, but I knew the second run, I knew I'd have to push a little harder, and it just became an absolute handful off the corner. I was sideways probably 50% of that entire run, just trying to give it as much as I could go. I knew once I got to Joey, though, that if I didn't take the outside, I was going to burn my stuff up underneath him, because you have to have the whole track, otherwise you're going to turn that thing sideways. So I power moved him to the outside, and I respect for him, keeping it down low and not, using me as an extra wall to keep going. So,
at what point did it dawn on you guys that you might make this a one-stop race? Justin, let's start with you.
Once we got about 10 laps into the race, my fuel calculators kicked over and they told me what lap the window was open, and at that moment I knew that we could make it. So I figured if I went a few more laps after halfway, that would give me enough in case we had a green-white checkered or whatnot. But then as soon as I seen Nate pit, I was kind of scrambling, trying to get my brake bias turned back up, because I had it turned all the way down. And yeah, almost ended up missing pit road. I watched Joey drive around the outside of me with a power move to get around me, for an extra couple second lead. So that was a good move by him.
Yeah, and Nate, what about you? Because you triggered, all of those pit stops. And so, what was going through your mind when you were making the decision to do that?
Actually, Justin, I kind of asked him. I kind of realized that we could make it only on one stop. I seen Nick and I think it might have been Kevin Bullock that pitted before the halfway point, and then I kind of realized I used crew chief app. I hit the button. I knew I had enough till midway, and I asked Justin. I said, "Are we going halfway?" And he says, "I can make it from here." So I kind of kept on running it. I lost so many short tracks because I pitted too early, and of course the guys that were in the back stayed out as long as they could, and caution comes out and boom, a lap down. So yeah, I knew I had that big lead to play with, and I just kind of pretty much ran it out to the end there to have the freshest tires on the end. I was a little worried about Nick and Kevin there. I came out of the pits, they were like 5 seconds ahead of me, but I guess 30 lap different tires makes a big difference. I caught back up and passed them within like 15 laps.
Well, I don't know if you guys probably hear on the broadcast later, but the three of us, Pim, Clayton, and I all made bets on how many full course cautions that we'd see in this race, and I guess we were all wrong, way wrong.
I was very close. I was nine out of them.
Well, I will say with this league, if we have a bunch of good guys in here, it usually goes green, because everybody knows how to handle their stuff and stay out of the way of everybody. So, like I said, it was awesome. It went green, because that's when racing really kind of plays in. You let guys start playing the strategy, and tire wear comes in, and you're not just waiting on, depending on your fastest hot lap.
Yeah, I actually just counted, and it looks like Nate Mower has led every lap except for 9.
Yeah, I think that was during the green flag pit stops.
Yep, during the pit stops was the only time you weren't the leader.
Yeah, and I feel like I should have won last Sunday morning. I know you guys weren't here, but caution came out. I had a nose on Joey, but iRacing, gave the win to Joey. I'm just trying to. I need Joey to wreck out next week for me to have a chance at the championship.
Sorry, Nate. What was this Daytona all over again?
Honestly, I don't remember what happened at Daytona. Did I win Daytona? I didn't.
No,
win
you didn't. You didn't. But it was a very close race.
You wrecked out very early.
I think it was
first caution. It was Joey against, I believe, Kevin.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta look to see. Hopefully Dennis gets around to doing the points later today. He's always pretty quick to do that. I don't know how many points I was behind coming in here. I just knew. I just had a feeling I could win this race this morning. I love Richmond.
You definitely called your shot in the pre-race, that's for sure.
I just needed Joey. I just needed Joey to get wrecked out this morning. That's what I needed, but it just didn't happen for me.
Well, let's talk about next week. The end of the season race, Talladega. That's a track where literally anything can happen. What are you guys looking forward to there?
Not losing the draft, because these draft packages now, these cup cars. I mean, not gonna lie, the race is probably gonna be pretty boring. You can make two. Everybody, you can race side by side, but everybody wants to drop down that bottom line, and then it's all single file, and pretty much got to make up all your time on pit stops. So, yeah, it's probably gonna be a boring race, but gonna have to be a little overly aggressive going in there, and I'm not really that good at super speedways. Then again, super speedways is a great track for those that aren't fast at these short tracks or intermediate tracks, because I mean it's anybody's fair game. So I think it'll be fun. But
well, Nate, I'm going to disagree with you. It's going to be a very, very, very exciting race, and we all want to see that race because we want to see if you can beat Joey Stiers.
I gotta look at the points. I gotta look to see what the points are going in. I think he's still gonna have probably about 10 plus points on me, so it's gonna be hard to do that.
Well, it's gonna be less than 10 points because it was 10 points now, and I don't think he won any points by leading laps because you took them all. So I think you took the maximum points up here. I think it's gonna be very exciting. Joey, what's your thoughts about next race?
I think Nate hit it right on the head. I feel like everybody's kind of going to be cautious the first 90% of the race, and that about 10 to go, it's going to get real hectic and crazy, and you'll see a lot of people moving around and a lot of different strategies, and I think it'll be very exciting at the end of the race.
Well, I'm looking very much forward to that.
Yeah,
Sorry, Peter.
I was just going to ask, Justin, you're just now in the mix in all of this, and how are you approaching Talladega next week?
Justin, you might be muted.
Wrong button. Whichever one wants to pay me in Venmo or PayPal, I will be their best friend for all of Talladega. So that's all I have to say.
I'd love to hear it.
All right, hey guys, I want to
for the information.
Before we have too much information here on the broadcast, I want to thank you all for joining us after the race. Love always those insights that you guys have. Do you have any shout-outs? Maybe we go... who do we go first? Justin?
Sure. I want to give a shout-out to all of my Simbox teammates. Doug Neal, Nate Mower, Travis White. Those guys consistently after week after running, those guys have made me faster overall. I appreciate those guys and their tips and tricks they're showing me how to run these tracks. Shout out to them. Shout out to Dennis and anybody else who helps put on the league. Appreciate you guys. I know admin duties are a thankless job, so appreciate all you guys for doing that. Appreciate you guys putting on the broadcast, and appreciate the other guys I'm running with like Joey and whatnot for running me clean and allowing us to have a little bit of fun without being so upset at a short track. So I don't think we were really short track racing today because nobody was ticked off. So I think we need to do it all over again.
Thank you very much, Justin.
Real quick, I really think that what the races I've been in, they've been pretty clean, and if I've had problems with anybody in the league, we've always gotten them settled, and I think that's what is really special about this league, is that there's a lot of great guys, a lot of great personalities in it.
Awesome. Joey, for the second position, normally you're on number 1, today number 2nd. Any shout outs for you?
Number 3.
Yeah, number 3 today.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd like to first congratulate Nate on the win today, Justin on a good second place run. Everybody else in the league ran an awesome, clean race today. And second off, David Brenner for painting me up an awesome car this week. I've been waiting for him to paint me up a good car lately, and he got my Peoria, Illinois silhouette on the side, OSF Healthcare, the company I work for, Rev Racing, of course. Thank all the guys over there. Ryan's not here today. I think he was a little hungover this morning, so he didn't want to cause any accidents or anything. So I was like, yeah, it's probably best you just stay off the track today and be there for Talladega. But all the guys back home, Mac and all watching, thanks for watching. And you guys in the broadcast booth, thank you.
Thank you very much, Joey. I do have to say, we looked at your car. It looks awesome. We already have a new nickname for you. You are our Hulk. The green mean machine is definitely looking very good.
I like that. I should get it stamped on the back bumper.
All right, let's do that, and let's see if we can get that next time in our final race in the championship. And then our race winner, Nate Mower. Finally, you're on that podium. Finally, on the top podium. Any shout outs for you?
Yeah, none of us would all be here racing against each other if it wasn't for Dennis. He keeps everybody in line here. Somebody starts getting out of line, he sets them in their seat pretty quick. That's what you need. And also right up there, everybody that raced in here today. I mean, everybody raced clean, no cautions. That's what I love. And my teammates, I don't know where Justin White's came from lately. I might have to kick him off the team. He's been running really good past couple weeks. Congrats to him. My other teammates, Doug Neal. I didn't really want to lap him there towards the end, but I didn't. I wanted to get the race done as quick as possible before that caution came out. And Travis White, don't know where he's at this morning, but sucks he couldn't be here. But and for you guys broadcasting this, I don't know what time it is where you guys are at, but I know it's kind of hard for me to get up in the morning sometimes to race. So yeah, just thanks for broadcasting this.
Thank you, Nate. Yeah, it's awesome to broadcast this. We learn a lot. I do have to say today was a special day with Clayton also in the booth. I've learned a lot from this. So, Clayton, does that also mean we can see you a little bit more here in the booth?
Yeah, I definitely think if you guys will have me, I'll be making some more booth appearances whenever I may not be comfortable with the track or just not in the mood for racing. It was a lot of fun being up here.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much for joining us. Love to see you maybe on the track, otherwise here in the booth. Peter, do you have any last words for this Sunday?
Well, first off, it was just so awesome, Clayton, to have you in the booth. It's frankly, it's just good to have someone in the booth who knows what they're talking about. And then
I watched Monday Night Manning, where he said he likes his other commentators to not know what's going on.
And then you've got to really hand it to the FOCM team. They're 1-2 finish today. They're really working together. It shows up on the track, and then the whole field, all top to bottom. Wow, they were all really impressive. There was no one slow on the track. And then let's just give one last shout out to Gary Wright. 50 races here. It's incredible. So kudos to him.
I couldn't agree more, Peter. And of course, I want to thank everybody who was watching. Woke up this morning, probably had a nice cup of coffee, and saw a very exciting race here in Richmond. I'm looking forward to Talladega, to our next race. And yeah, that's much easier to say. And I would love to hear from you again up there. See you for tonight if you're looking into a nice skip race. We have the SNS race here on CAV OK. And otherwise, I will see you next week.